Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Due to the time differences, how's everybody doing and their family? I hope everyone and their family are doing well. Um, Today's life issues, Abrabo Nsem, and the topic for discussion is emotional trauma. So today I'm gonna play two songs. I'm in that mood. And I'm gonna play two songs and then we will start the discussion. Brothers Ekamani Hibuwakaba Apobu Edison. It's good to see you always. May call a comfort and a honor. May her soul rest in peace. Music is a good sensory for the mind, body, and soul. Okay, as I'm doing this, I can share. But hey, I fancy you. I need your right. Oh, you need your right. Hey, but oh, nothing idea. Hey. Charlie, hey, music is a good sensory for the mind, body, and soul, right? Today's topic is the Asemo. Charlie, the way some people go suffer, no, it's too much. It's too much. It's my born you but I think I will play this one and start. I will save the dance for the end. All right, let's start the discussion. So, the topic again today is emotional trauma in life issues, which is Abrabo Nsem when you bring it to my native language, Twi. So I'm going to mix. I will speak English mostly, but I will mix in with certain things. So, like, what is emotional intelligence? By definition, hey baby, I met Bruno. Emotional intelligence, like being able to like think through before you speak, when you're upset, you don't speak when you're upset, or like you too emotional. But the topic today is emotional trauma. So if I say emotional intelligence, you guys forgive me because it's something that I utilize a lot. So emotional trauma, by definition, emotional trauma is the end result of events or experiences that leave us feeling deeply unsafe and often helpless. It can result from a single event or be part of an ongoing experience, such as chronic abuse, bullying, discrimination, and humiliation. This is something that a lot of us, a lot of people, we have loved ones, friends, family members, people in general going through. Some of them are growing up, they went through a lot of this trauma. Some of them in their marriages, some of them in their relationships. So it's like sometimes depending your outbringing, that could be part of your certain conditions, part of the problem. Baby etiti wonunsu etimi ede sa nneoma ne ba because efie bi wo mu a wofiri mu a ebro nko a ne yedi etiti uye bibi a ne yesi mu se tum ni ahwe watiko ni yatwa atwede ni yede mfia bo una kokom uko school se say the school assessor as we call elementary school, middle school. Yetimi emma uniform what to so kama ne ya muano teacher need to me muano send ye betale to ni we ahwe wo ma de ni ho de ni so to so so de ni na wo de asam nko anu wenya. So like with the society and community that I'm from, back in the days, way back, talking about way back. I'm not sure, I don't believe it's still in existence, but you still do have some teachers who lack of emotional intelligence because they are incapable of relating information with their students or communicating with their students productively. Some of them have anger issues. Some of them have emotional trauma themselves because they were bullied growing up. There could be some type of discrimination towards them, some type of humiliation in a relationship. Sometimes when a woman is upset with their partner, they will tell them, say, like, when they having sex, they cannot last for 1 minute because they're upset around. So they will humiliate them in the midst of, a crowd where there is an event, a party or something or like in in a family home where there's more than one person in there. So some people go through that. Some people have gone through chronic abuse, whereas you've been beaten over like continuously. So a lot of people do have emotional trauma. Some of them, they have boiled it up inside them. Omo de ashow mumu saa omo ntimi de omo enka ho asem nkyere obi enti obi wo honom a saa bufuo no ne yaw na ewo ne mu no wotimi e de kɔ ne ho kafo so ne maso ne nanfofo so 1 2 na ne buafu basa bisa no ne ade. So like you have some of these teachers, some adults, some parents, some family members, some people, some partners that they have all this emotional trauma that they experience or they went through or is still ongoing, is still happening. Because some people relive their trauma. Something could happen. Someone can say something that can re-trigger their trauma. So it's like, we each deal with situation differently. So sometimes when you have certain people, they come about and they unable to get, to heal from their trauma. So they hold on to it. That becomes part of their existence. It defines them. So when people allow their trauma to define them, it becomes part of them. And some of us or some people will be like, well, that's how they are. So you need to settle for them. You need to exercise patience. They're going to change in due time. No, it doesn't happen like that. In order for people to kind of like heal gradually, they cannot heal overnight. Some people need to go for counseling, see professional, get professional help. They cannot do it on their own. Other people, they are strong-willed. They have the ability to self-regulate themselves, so they will be able to learn things through social media, through Google, reading things, for them to help themselves, do self-care, making sure that they build their self-confidence, they able to value their whole existence, be able to do self-assessment, also have self-control, be able to contain. They know they struggle with certain things, anger management, so they're able to work to contain themselves. So it's helpful. But for some people, they're not able to do that, and they're expecting their partners, their family members, their friends to accept the way that they are, even though they should be able to gradually work on themselves. Say, obi wonyi ye bono sam, and I say, and I say a man titru, they were molested, sexually abused, raped, and most of them were sexually abused, molested, because a man penny funny be small boys and crank it one no much ediomu. But almost sounds on me are planning to no moon dear costing memanu be brain no almost to mean can't say be Osano, they were abused. So Becca said, oh, minya bears and fien soon, I'm a chassis teacher. Onim said they were abused in some way. Brother Vasco. Nimawa kwaba apomu eti saying, I hope say yes, I don't, and in the issue that yeah. I am missing me terrace kakra where you say and send a K Ashisha has said into but you need to different, and I have to like look down on my phone to see who is here. Oh, Welcome, my knowledgeable yeah Ataba Kope Sister ya Ataba Wakwaba. At the same. It's good to see you. Thank you, Brother Vasco. Bihuache, it's good to see you. Boss, oh, boss, Kope. Dada Barasta one. And Sanya, you know, the marvelous, knowledgeable, beautiful boss lady. Boss, Memo Akaba. Brother Natty does it near. Hey, Media Bema, and Nadia, you have landed. Hey, it's good to see you. Brother Emmanuel Ejare Dankwa, Mema Wakwaba. It's good to see you guys. I am so happy to see you guys. You know, oh, Mami has I mean, fan to hunting a me who se malande no. Yeah, some more. When you are on the road now, you just like talking. It is what basunami, brother Isaac Amweni, who's Akwaba. It's good to see you. And you know, to say like your friend is saying, me mo bi Akwaba, say be a meant me acknowledge you what me I have say yet. That be all no my Obi Baswa me no. If you want me to acknowledge your name now, just say hello, and then I will say hello back to you. Sani ekono. And so so yeah, oh, Brother Vasco. Uma mi tirimu ye mi de too much. You guys spoil me, pal. Boss lady. Mi ma mu nyina ama kwaba. All of you chop kisses. And you know, like, you know, obia media meka ne say, see ye wo Ghana. Ya wo Ghana, what na Ghana penya. Abroad wajibi. You know, some of us have been emotionally traumatized, you know, but we do have some who goes through like chronic abuse in so many ways. Oh my gosh, it's like it's so sad and really concerning. Especially like, you know, if you are an orphan, a janka forma omo break, because it is say, even when I think back, but it says some of the traumas that I experienced, you know, it had made me stronger because, like, you know, both my parents are well and alive. And I thank God for their life. I thank God for my life. And I thank God for my family, friends, their life in so many ways. They have been alive. They are well alive. But like, you know, having to live with some family members, not all my family members, because I have big extended family member, but you know, to live with just a few, you know, family members. And the way one of them dedicated himself to mistreat us, myself and my siblings, it was like unbelievable. Like, you know, you find yourself being treated as like you're not human, you are unimportant, right? You get flogged and beatings for no apparent reason. I mean, sometimes when you think about it and you start talking about it for foolish reasons, I should say, because Sister Aya knows me, I use foolish a lot, foolishness, because, you know, any word that you can find in the dictionary is welcome here. But no insult. Foolishness you can use. Stupidity we can use. Nonsense we can use. Bullshit we can use. Those words, it's allowed because I myself uses it, and I use them when to express myself, you know, to fully express myself, because I don't condone in foolishness and nonsense. Because, you know, there are some people who act in such manner, and I don't have time for it. So, you get all this foolish beatings and flog because some people, this person, this uncle could not, did not have emotional resilience. He did not have any. He did not have emotional intelligence, even though he was educated. He was a educated person. He did not have self-control. Like his emotion, like I just felt like sometimes if he did not get enough tonga and you do something, even when you sneeze, it's a problem. I remember one time, back then, like we have pipe in our house, but it wasn't flowing on a daily basis, sometimes 3 days a week before it comes. So you have barrels that you have to fill them up. So, and the time they open the tap will be in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m., 2:30 or 4 a.m., 5 a.m. So he will wake us up for us to fill our barrel, which is, something that's, as an adult, he needs to make sure that we have enough water throughout the week. Because if you don't have enough throughout the week, you will have to go to the well, to the water stream to fetch water and bring it home in order for you to wash and cook your food and all sorts of things. Some of you know what I'm talking about. So the tap water came, and my older sister and myself, we went out, with buckets, to get water and fetch. We have two barrels. One of them was right in front of our our room, and the other one was on the side, right? So we were doing that, and you have to line up because we have a big house, big family house, and we have some tenants and stuff like that. So everybody, when it's your turn, you fetch your water, and then you go and you pour out, and you come and you go to the back of the line. Fairness. So as we were doing it, my baby sister, Crisscross Mensa, was just a little girl. She was like maybe around 5 years old, between 3 years, 5 years old. And as we were fetching the water, she had a fever and she wasn't feeling well. So she been crying for most part of the day and the night. So when we were fetching the water from the tap, she kept crying, right? So, and then this uncle was like, one of you needs to go and shut your baby sister up before I go and get my cane to whip her. And I'm saying, like, as a teenager, the first thing that came to my mind was like, he is out of his mind. How are you going to flog a child who is sick? She's crying because she's in pain. She has a fever. So my older sister was like, she's going to fetch the water. I should go and, take care of our baby sister. So I went to the room, pick her up. And, I'm trying to get her to sleep. I carry her in my back and she's still crying. So I put her over my shoulders, trying to comfort her and everything. And, I'm trying to get her, my focus was like to get her to stop crying because I didn't want her getting flogged and stuff like that. And she kept on crying. So at some point, she calmed down. She stopped crying, but every now and then, she will kind of like, start crying little, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't cover her mouth because I'm just trying to do everything possible to make her feel comfortable. So at some point she fell asleep, and when she fell asleep, I'm sitting there. It was like around 6, almost 7 o'clock. I'm sitting in the living room because I brought her from the bedroom to the living room, sitting in the chair. And as I'm sitting there, and I kid you guys not, this is not like, you know how sometimes people will be like, oh, that's a made-up story and stuff. I kid you guys not. As I was sitting in our living room, and our living room window has like a net, right? And you know, like they have oh my gosh, a bar, and they have small spaces. As I'm sitting in the living room, I saw a vulture, pete. And yet then I petted me fast and tokuya we ebebra. I just saw a vulture and Timmy who yan me yamu shame in fact. Timmy yamu shame no na me hwe baby a pete na eko. But pete no bed demu honum no. Before ansa na medi mani be follow pete no. Na pete na ira. I making mystery, but it was like the craziest thing. Oh boy, Sister Priscilla. So Clement, very beautiful name. It goes with your beauty. I love your name. She said it's so sad how many children are abused. Let me go here. Sister Priscilla. So Clement said, it is so sad how many children are abused and damaged back home in the hands of so-called family members. Oh, Miss Sister, increase the volume on that. The worst thing parents can do is let someone else raise their children. Oh, my sister. Say that again and again and then again. I'm telling you, like, it is the worst thing. Raise your own children. I mean, it don't matter, like the way some family members treat their own brothers and sisters and family members' children is just horrible when it comes to our society and community. So many of us have been emotionally and psychologically traumatized in so many ways. It's just unbelievable. Brother Kofi Braje, welcome. Apomo Etisen. So I saw this vulture. Missy pete. Some kind of pete and pete. Vulture. It just came through the window and kantan sisi one ma minim say aboy intimi rem timi hu mi yamu sheme na na yame wan wan timi ko hwe ba bia air fryer ko just many a free window na many boss so amedi many follow no na ade na yira enti after me sister me say o yare o yes o da kakra na osu kakra after de ho ayedi wagya isu aye bibia enti me de me feel so wada enti no me hwe me kohwe me sister keto anim crisscross anim me hwe na me sister ena nani ehahan chese asamo na chese won hahan na satam so me wo fa panyi baako ono yo he na ne ho mfa ne nti Methodist asori mpanyifo no eba yefie ho no ma o ma boss circle omu bompa ya ama me wo fa no enti me nso se me sha satam no na chese me share da enyi ahibia na me wo be 14 years old. Enti no me nso me misro se bia me ye dede a na se empire omobo no ye ya me wo fa ba ko bi na me ka na asem no obebo me ebro nti no na me mpese me ye dede enti me tam e wa pa na me tam me sister ketwa e wo da me so me peja me mu me peja no course na me peja me mu free akonya mu na me bie ye pon no me bie no ketwa sa na ebe ye anye dede chese mi ehu hye mu ankasa se mi ye dede bi ane ya bo me enti na me yes me de ne fa honom ho bi ketwa bi wo ho na ade ko anim honom enti no me yes me fa honom na me me cousin baako yi na me ka chen se bra pe de me nua pe de ma ni aye eno oje no nti oje no de mi hu ya ne se Methodist sɔfo panyin no enso say no wo hu na odi machi na ɔsɛ deɛ na ɛkɔ so na meka sɛ ɛsoro aka me sister no ɛna ɔbɛgye me sister ketewa ɛne asɔre mma ne nyinaa wɔ bia ɔmo bɔ mpaeɛ ma me sister ketewa crisscross na me gyina hɔ ɛna mesua kyɛ sɛ m'ani nyinaa yɛ sɛ kɔɔ mehu nea menyɛ mesu ɛsu na ɔmo bɔ mpaeɛ saa me sister n'ani so atete no hey na yɛde ne kɔɔ hospital no ɔmo wɔ ne paneɛ ma yɛ duro nom ne ade na can you imagine a few hours ago no na me saa me wɔ fa ne sɛ sɛ yɛama na anhyɛ apa ɔbɛbo no akwala a wɔyare wɔnya fever no na hwɛ asɛm anka ɛde ɛba abɛto yɛ so enti no nyame adom sɔfo yi asɔrefoɔ bɔ mpaeɛ ma me sister crisscross na ne ho tɔɔ no ne yɛde ne bɛɛ fie ɛne sɛ mete ne ho ani because me sister panyin no ɔyɛ adwuma nti no ɔyɛ a wɔsɛ make sure sɛ ɔbɛtena ne ho wonkɔ baabia mesimate nti sɛ bia sɛ mekɔ na mekɔ use restroom a na my friend, my cousins, maybe so mo metna ne ho sɛ ne ɛbɛyɛ yi ɛna no ɛbɛsen kɔ nti no this type of oh thank you boss lady me that say nti this type of emotional trauma no some of us have gone through it growing up living with some family members. It's like ukotna family member who be ne aya wo sɛ asɛ wo yɛ abaawa biribi a pɛsɛ wo na wo yɛ me ne mabusuafoɔ wɔ Kumase papa kyerɛ adeɛ wɔ sɛ tutu na me ngo fufu ba me ba wɔ dan no na sɛ me wo fufu wo behu na wo nsɛm nyinaa ha sɛ ayɛ den like serious matter the enduma na menye no I have to do all that to get something to eat. Sika no nso kra enye omo ho na free. Me ma me ne papa na ye adwuma bre. Eseni sika ba on a monthly to 2 months basis. And so no ansa na menya sika de ato aduane adi no. Agire makwa afum anase ma ye bibi to get that. Enti no it's a whole lot that we have to deal with. Nti no si ye wo Ghana na wotena abusuafo obi ho enye wo maame o papa na tete obi wo ho nso ono ane maame ne papa nso no se ne yetimi bo no so tro he yani ewo yetiko yetimi obi pa timi de flying pine ehwe ne ba yetiko ne ba pampem to say the way some people raise their children, it's sad. We have so many, so the emotional trauma is there. And then some of the emotional traumas, there are different causes and reactions. Some of them can also be in terms of being in an accident, right? That's something that is really hard for one to get over it. So emotional trauma can steal one's life, your life, how you deal with situation, how you make decisions, how you allow people to treat you, how you receive information, how you process information that you receive. All that, it plays part in it when you are emotionally traumatized. Some people will be like, okay, this is not a big deal. We each have different capability. We each have different abilities. We each have, like, some of us are so fragile. Some of us are very strong emotionally, psychologically, physically. Some of us are not. Some of us cannot deal with even the littlest thing. It can trigger something for us to start getting stressed out, being depressed, developing other mental illness, because we can't deal with certain things. A lot of us, like in our society, community, women are raised to have to deal with so much emotional stress, emotional situation that our people in general in our community, society, and our men expecting us to deal with bullshit after bullshit after bullshit, and then we have to pamper the men, right? Because women have the capacity to take on so much. I don't know where people, yeah, some people were born, which part of their mother's body they came from, but typical Africans, they expect, they have their notion. Ọmụ wɔ ọmụ adwene deɛ ọmụ te ase ọmụ nte ase a ọmụ wɔ ɛno na ọmụ de yɛ adwuma. Nti most of the time no, back of watch memo akwa ba pomuti sense sister Cynthia, I confess you, we watch you. It's good to see you. Ooh, sister said Williamson new den the knowledgeable says memo akwa pa. Sister Sage Williams Chiamunina. Oh, happy Thanksgiving to you as well, says the beautiful people aboard. I hope you had a good time. Yes, I had a really restful and enjoyable day yesterday, so it was pretty good. Over anything, Sunday first, na me celebrate Thanksgiving, and means share and celebrate, say because it's a Thanksgiving, America for Thanksgiving, how it came about now, history, is and yet positive thing, to say I don't go crazy on Thanksgiving to say before and then I may enjoy pioneer. Hey, I will make it my business, but not anymore. And Sister Yisha knew then day. I promise to say about for someone in the account, memoir kwaba. So, like, emotional trauma, can still your life, and there are resources, professionals, counselors who can help those going through such trauma to overcome their symptoms, like be able to manage it and deal with the situation, and also gradually heal from it. A lot of times, like some people don't really think that, when someone is emotionally damaged, because we don't see it, it's okay. When it comes to emotional trauma, psychological trauma, they are the two most dangerous. Physical, it's visible. People can see it and it will heal gradually. However, when it comes to the emotional part, no. Those are the ones that takes people's life prematurely. People die untimely death, and some people get sick, some people lose their mind, they end up in a psychiatric hospital, whereas they cannot function at all. It don't matter how many times or how long they stay in the hospital, they cannot function among society. Their life is going to be spent throughout the psychiatric ward, because if they come outside, they will not be able to take care of themselves. That's how some of this emotional trauma can do to people. To see your crew, I think say you move bebre yeding in a way, say we have the strength of a lion. man and men man especially. I think see a men they are intimidated by man to say bi wo honoma you obema bi wo ho beti oba no na chese wo hu ne obeye ohun ne pese obeye ofo se so tie oba na chese ebi oba ne befa ne so ana se ebe kire se oba ne enim nyansa sen no sa na tie. And sometimes I think say some of our men they really struggle to have to deal with that, right? So some of the common reaction to trauma, right? We have anger, we have fear, we have guilt, we have anxiety, we have depression, we have muscle, section, we have chest pain, you have denial, you have confusion, you have difficulties, concentrating. And then sometimes you have some of them, they will withdraw from friends and family members, they will isolate themselves because they cannot deal with being in a crowded place, right? And then you have like chronic unexplained pain or health challenges. A lot of people, some people, they feel sick when they go to places that have too many people in there, or even if they go to a party, they have reaction to that. And you kromu for say bia obi echo through something like that, nipa no kra ye se o ye bibia ye kromu ni bi betimi aka say wo de wo kire ho papa ye ko nipa mu anu aye ho tebo. You don't know what the person is going through. Some people, like, some people are deep, they having a hard time. It's not like, you have to you have to show some empathy and compassion. You need to know what the person is going through. Stop being judgmental, stop assuming, stop accusing people, labeling people. Because when it comes to most Ghanaians, we are more receptive to foolishness and nonsense, negativity, stupidity, more than having to support people, friends, family members who needs help, who needs support, who needs love. We it's too much to say you could move 40. That's why going back like 3-4 years ago, I didn't have any Ghanaian friends, because concerning trone akeka ne to say I didn't want to have to deal with micro mufo, because micro too much. Wo dream who cry near kofa sama besho serious matter. But to say social media, being able to make friends on social media, I'm happy that I'm able to make friends, because say I have made some great friends whom have become brothers and sisters to me. You see, obi free maame ne papa baako na mo ye nua te say so many of you have become my little sisters and big sisters, little brothers and big brothers, because too much. Kind of so common causes of emotional support. Hey, I'm telling you, emotional trauma. type of trauma, psychologically, you can have some of them could be, say, natural disasters such as tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, fire, right? Flooded and all those stuff. And then um, we have the interpersonal violence, like, being, as child abuse, suicide of a loved one, or a friend, someone that you work with, and or like, someone being raped, when someone is raped, sexual assault, and other things. When I talk about sexual assault, like hey, it's been a while. I would say over 20 years ago. Like, I was working on was it let me see, 2003, 2004. So it hasn't no, not over 20 years ago. I would say over 18 years ago. One of my former place that I used to work, I was sexually assaulted by one of my former boss, like the first supervisor at that place. And it was a very traumatic event for me, because at the time I had lost my job. I was working. I had just started working, getting paid, being able to catch up with my bills and stuff. So I needed some overtime. And this supervisor, this boss, I expressed to him, like, when there is overtime hours, I'm interested in working some of the overtime hours, because I have the free time. So one time he called me and he was like, listen, if you can come in like 2 hours or 3 hours ahead of your shift hours, that would be great. And I was like super excited. I was like, oh great, when I come in, some of the kids, their laundry, I can start doing their laundry that for them, so they will have free time to play and do some recreational activities and stuff like that. He was like, great. And he, like, he's somebody that I respected and stuff like that, and I never expected anything of sort. I didn't realize that, there is something seriously wrong with him, because, you do have some men. I just feel that rapists and people who sexually assault their co-workers or their staff, or people who do things out of norm, they're sick in the head. They have some type of mental issues and stuff. But some of them is not visible. You can't see it. So I went in, and then I started some of the young men's, laundry. And once I finished with the first one, I put the drying clothes in the hamper to bring it to the room to fold it and put it on the individual's bed, because this way, when he comes from school, he can put them in his drawer. I wasn't going to do all that, because that's part of like showing them, learning how to, like, organize their drawer and all that. So I'm like in the room folding things, and it's just my boss and myself in the building. It's a big building and far away from the school. So, like, I'm standing in the room folding, and for me, I can hold the clothes without having to put on the table and fold, because I used to work in a retail store, clothing store. So like they have sweaters on the table, and when you have the customers comes in there, some of them will just pick it up and throw it anywhere. Some customers are just rude, and then we'll have to refold it to make the table looks nice and presentable, because that's part of your job. And some, customers, they feel like, oh, that's part of your job, so it don't matter, I can mess it up and do whatever, and you're going to have to fold it, which was no problem. So I'm standing and folding. I'm not putting them on the bed. I would just stand up, pick it up, fold it, break it into 3 pieces, and then I will put it on the bed, and I separate them: the boxers, t-shirt, long sleeve shirt, sweatpants, shorts. I will just separate them, so it will be easier for them to like put it in their drawer easily. So as I was standing there, all I felt was someone just tackle me, and then I have to break myself. Falling down, I have to like use my arm to break my fall. Otherwise, my face would have hit the carpet, the floor. So I used my hand to brace myself. And thank God, around that time, I was like very active. I was doing push-ups and stuff. So my arms was like, really strong. So once I break myself, I just felt a sharp turn. So like he flipped me over, and we learned TCI, part of like the training, how to protect yourself when you're being attacked. So I pushed my legs, my knee to my chest, I brought it all the way up. He ended up laying on my leg and then pressing my leg towards my chest, because he was one of the instructors for TCI. So it's like he knows like when you press it down, it's gonna hurt the person, and then the person can let go. So he kept pressing, but I was like pushing my leg up, to prevent my knee from pressing down my chest. I didn't want to and he was strong. I mean, that's a grown man with me, 5'3", a woman. So it's like, and I'm sweating like, hey, my gosh, when you're in a situation now, you get a strength from somewhere. So this man, is trying, and I could feel his penis, like he's ready to go. I saw it now, so I just say, why you ready cry? And to say a social worker back and a bass honum. Nyankopon do ano do to a bar office one more thing, so be this halfway semuno, and no sorry intimate sorry and a new mammy bubo. Again, I just left everything. Me drew one no. My many whom you say, are you okay, Amelia? Like you look like you have seen a ghost. And one is me farming me jacket, me pocket book, me a ID, and I may swipe it out to say me clock it out Naja, me walk it out of the building, na me call HR, na me coca the see, and me coffee. Me 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks, 2 weeks first, and then they gave me a little bit more for investigation and everything. And then nominate the newest staff over there, and idea or no one count. He told the staff so no my juma saying me the allegation be atone so say ni say no ni ade emrekun nim say wo yes ade no. He did it. He knew it. But to say, no, eka just say was still one me na me resume working on staff or no obia ne me nkasa. Nti to see a adwuma nkwala na omani edin no omo ye aggressive no e na omo ede to me group mu wo be hu na bia na me nko na mama me nkwala be se enan enum omani edin ebi mu pe adwane to say as part of a way to punish me, because they say will be try say or rape be na nipa na ntimi na me menya me ho akyɛ sɛ eni kwan sɛ nka me kɔka so ahu sɛ ne abibifoɔ ye mu bi tie me na me ye victim no they try to make me be the bad guy in some way, but it didn't face me because I know say me no I don't lie. I have to speak the truth all the time. Inti no DSC and I'm a but one time na Mrs. Cecilia your program and she came to talk about sexual harassment and I did share my story. This situation that I went through, whereas, I was sexually assaulted. This person was in the mood, I don't know, to say, not we born, funny be, sister, said you kind of saying, cry, your friend is saying, oh, I heard him for you be. Ain't no wahye utimi nso wahye ankasa nyɛ n'ani na ɔde yɛ saa ade no ba wɔba no ɔhye yɛ because we mete senti no na sister Cecilia yeah sexual harassment and then it came about and what I have to the things what happened, what I had to do, and then what I had to endure with some of my co-workers. It is almost for me buy and chair nothing I say because okay, well I'm fine, but we'll try so they hear me. It make me one of the guests asema or no baby something say a dear atade na na me which took me aback. Because sometimes, you see some people as intelligent people. They have emotional resilience, and then they have emotional intelligence. They have knowledge. So you would think, say, that type of question should not be asked. What do you mean? What type of clothes I was wearing? When a woman is harassed, when a woman is sexually assaulted, when a woman is raped, when a woman is violated, right? Should we ask what the woman was wearing? Because it's a your friend is saying to say your friend is saying almost send new may cat home even almost crampono a man bino they have been raped and violated. Baby and so a man money be in him say tonga into normal could rape and I say they try to do so and one moment if you were on my would say who rape or banny a child caught happening into your chin be no crack with you. Ain't for anyone to ask me, say, what was I wearing? In fact, I had to take a couple breaths and contain my emotions because I just felt that was the dumbest question anybody can ask someone who have gone through something like that. Doesn't matter what I'm wearing, even if I choose this. But mostly you have people who is struggling, who is not mentally, stable, who will take off their clothes. But even if I'm sane and I choose to go outside butt naked now, nobody has a right to put their hands on me. Nobody has a right to assault me. So it's like, for a grown person to ask me a dumb question like that. Me, I did answer, but then before I can answer to such question, disrespectful question, and I said dumb, right? Foolish question. I was rudely cut off. And then once I was rudely cut off, before I can speak, I was cut off again because I guess the individual finally thought of the question that he asked was not appropriate question that he should be asking. Because as someone, sometimes you have people who are educator, all right, an educator, or educator, like, and I said someone who has knowledge, or someone who is a teacher. You don't ask stupid questions. What was I wearing? How dare to ask dumb question like that? Oh man. I mean, and then so moving on. So some of these things, sometimes you have people, they will not be able to like get over it. I mean, from that day I became very I became really reactive, like not reactive. I will reflect on things, like I told the kids that I was working with. If you need my attention, do not come from behind. You have to call my name, come to my side, tap me on the shoulders, or come from the front. Don't come from behind, because if someone comes from behind, the first thing I do, I'll grab their hands and I'll flip them over. So it's like I didn't want to hurt anybody. So I told them, due to, certain things, don't ever come from behind and grab me from my shoulder from behind, because I will grab your arms, and it's not like I'm just grabbing it. I will grab it and twist it. So I didn't want to hurt anybody. That's part of my defense mechanism, just to protect myself and be aware and let people understand that you can't just sneak up on me. So that came from there. So a lot of the people that I work with, like, they will call me from miles away, feet away, because I let them know. And then one time, one of the in Kolane Bako, or no first in the near tintino, will be Nsem me jina honom me ya dear. And or sneaky up on me, no, so me muna some me send me chimney sano. After no, it's me, it's me, it's me, it's me. And I say, didn't I tell you not to do that? I don't want to hurt anybody, okay? But don't do that. Come from the side, come from the front, call my name. Do not sneak up on me. I'm telling you. Because, like, I wasn't playing cry. Are free. Sometimes some things, to say, like, you learn from it. And then you do have, when it comes to like some type of other traumas, being involved, when you are involved in a serious accident, either say driving, or like, in your own home, something happens, or like at workplace. So most of the time, no, it's a whole lot. This type of trauma also affects our cognitive, thinking. Okay, sometimes, like in the beginning, you will have some intrusive thoughts. You will start having nightmares. Sometimes, you do have difficulties with memories and concentration, and you have mood swings. Also, sometimes you might have flashbacks from events that happen. Sometimes you get confused with certain things, depending the extent of your trauma. All right. And then other times, you have like an alternate behavior. Like sometimes, I there be one of my who beat me cause hey. Now I said what different personality no, and now will see and I said be, and I said why hyper bisa so I mean to say, and then you see behavior patterns. Sometimes you have some people avoiding family members, friends, they don't want to go to public places. They want to just isolate themselves from there. Going to places with too many people, it will remind them of their experiences. I mean, to still be they were gang raped. Nipa mmienu mmiɛnsa ɛnan ɛna rape ne nti no to say even the relationship mu anaasɛ na wareɛ mu no wɔne bɛrima no ɛsɔ ne mu a no wɔ jump it. Like they will jump out of their skin and they don't feel comfortable nti bi wɔ hɔnom a wɔntumi hold the relationship. Obi nso wɔ hɔnom a they will completely withdraw themselves from their family. They don't want nothing to do with their family or like friends. They will remove themselves from it. Before you know, you call them, they're not going to be answering. They don't enjoy any type of activities. And like to tell you with my experience, my first initial reaction was in shock. I was in shock. I couldn't believe what was happening because I left my parents' home to go to work and to have to experience something like that. And then I started feeling, I started denying it. I was like, no, this did not happen. He did not almost did that to me. Like, what would have happened if the social worker did not come up around the time that she did? Because when I was able to get away, I was sweaty. I was sweating like a pig. Like my top, my jeans was like wet because I had to fight him with all my might. I felt his I didn't want that to go past my legs. So I have my legs clapped together, my knee over, and I could feel his thing on my legs, and like my heart was pounding. I was like in shock. I couldn't believe it. So it's like, some of the sages that, people who have emotional trauma they go through, it's like shock, being in denial. Also, you can get into anger. You develop anger management issues. Sometimes you feel pain, other times you feel guilt. Okay, did I say something or did anything that made him think that he can do something like that? Because I did ask myself a couple times, like, did I say something or did I do something that made him think that that is something that I wanted? But nothing that I did or said, because he was my boss. And my dad, each time I get a new job, my dad, the first conversation my father will have with me will be like, do not go, when you start work, make sure you do your work. You go in on time, you clock in, clock out. Don't go and do anything that you're not supposed to be doing, and do not get involved with anyone that you work with. So that stuck with me. I never dated anyone that I work with, because I saw some people, dating each other, working together, and then when the relationship don't work out, one of them have to leave prematurely, or there is so much issues, so much bickering, which affects everybody that's on the shift. So that's not me. I have people who uh, uh came on to me, but none of them ever, touched me physically. But this one day, that day, I guess, it was Shiwi, or baby didn't bear mashe. Obi wearing so, like, I don't know, Sanera Manen, into no, or fair, the Yumuina, na me, the easiest one, I am for them, yes, I'm manibi. No, I'm not. Anyhow, but I felt like, I just questioned myself, did I say something, or did something that made him think that he can even, do something like that? But then I said to myself also, it wasn't my fault. He's the one that has issues, because most of the time, victims, they start, blaming themselves, and it wasn't my fault. He had some type of mental issue. That's what I believe, happened. Also, like, sometimes, being able to work through it. I mean, in so many ways, when you go through situations, it's always good to be able to take time to process it, to have better understanding, and knowing that it wasn't your fault. You did not do anything wrong. It's not your fault for anybody to come on to you, for anybody to attack you in any way, or it's the abuser or the perpetrator's fault, always, because they're the one that have issues. That's going to help you be able to reconstruct things and work through the incident, and also be able to learn to gradually heal, be receptive to what happened to you, and then be hopeful in many ways. Also, like, in I was looking at healthline.com. You know, Google is my friend. And when I was looking through there, they talk about three types of trauma. And the three types of trauma, the three main types of trauma is acute, chronic, or complex, right? The acute trauma results from a single incident, right? And then the chronic trauma is repeated and prolonged, such as domestic violence or abuse, right? That's the chronic trauma. And then you have the complex trauma, is exposure to very varied and multiple traumatic events, often of an invasive interpersonal nature. Like, you remember when I talked about interpersonal earlier, the interpersonal is like, violence such like rape, child abuse. If you have a family member, a loved one, a friend who committed suicide, that is part of the interpersonal. So, like, I was like, wow, this is like, that's crazy. So it's like, you have the um interpersonal nature. That's something that happens to some people. I mean, I cannot imagine for women who go through uh when they are violated, being raped. And we do have some men who also have been raped, and it has affected their relationships and their marriages, because when it comes to having sex, or like, being with your partner, um, that is a lot to deal with. So complex also dealt with often of an invasive, yeah, like, being invasive. And what does emotional trauma do to the body? Chai. So emotional trauma is something that, a lot of us, and if you have a family member, a friend, you yourself, your loved ones are going through something like that, you need to be able to be supportive and be understanding. Because like sometimes, even back home with females, if they are violated, they get victimized because your chromo, we do best. We are bonnet. Ɛyɛ dɛn na akwaraa yɛ akwaraa bɔne sɛ panyimu awengaa bi molesti akwaraa, ɛyɛ dɛn na akwaraa no na ɛyɛ akwaraa bɔne. To say we enable too much foolishness and nonsense. We need to hold people accountable, especially the adults. They're the adults. How can you molest a child? Because you know what? They go for individuals that are vulnerable. They don't know much. Some of them use threats. And then that child is going to keep it to themselves. And then some family members knows exactly what is happening in that family home, and they say nothing. I just feel that, if you have a molester in your family and someone is bold enough to report that, whoever is aware that abuse was happening also needs to spend some time in jail. They needs to be held accountable at some point, because it's just ridiculous how some people go. So it's like, emotional trauma. This is some of the ways that it affects your body. Okay, this can include being exhausted. Okay, exhaustion, confusion, sadness, anxiety, agitation, numbness, disassociation, and psychological arousal. You might experience a few or all of these symptoms. I mean, can you imagine if your body is going through, just say, wonim de ɛkɔ so koraa wo brɛ nso afo wɔ ho afei nso no wayɛ kra bi wɔ ho nso a you don't even feel, just say you don't feel nothing. Mehu sɛ na menka no wɔ twi mu, just say your body is numb, right? Na afei nso no wo detach yourself to say disassociate, to say wo pɛ sɛ we adeɛ na ato no wo pɛ sɛ wo dream sɛ nyɛ wo na ato enso wo na ato enti no, to say if you going through some of these symptoms now, right, or all of it, some people go through all of it at once. How can one person handle such traumatic things? It's not easy when it comes to, like, sometimes you have people thinking, you can think and think and think, and it's just not working. All right, so when there is increased exhaustion, it's often the result, as the many worried and stressed people are, the more tense and constriction muscles, sometimes you feel your inside there, it is so up, it's so tight. Hey, the way some people feel and some people express how they feeling. Because I say, and Clara Juma, like over 10 years ago, Akra Bako, na one day na chese Akrano bibia beye ni bia no open Michael Jackson yomupa. Oboma say, oh, have a heart and abo Michael Jackson yoma the oye bia wajai. Ne danu ye bo Michael Jackson yoma watu nyina akola yi esi onye yafi da akola da ho no mo se ne nipadua no emu na nkasa no wase chese he can't move anything. It feels like somebody is twisting something inside him. I'm saying, hey, now someone who can work like what I say. Was it Miss Amelia? You don't know. My inside, it feels like somebody is pulling it and then twisting it back together. Na sani akwala no na akwala ne ye na afede na ahom te kura wo hono ma be hunu oda ho no wa yese ne wasensen no nti no na yɛsi yɛde ne kɔ hospital, nti yɛde ne kɔ hospital no like ɔda hospital hɔnom for over 3 months. Any nnuro dodoɔ a wɔn sesa de ma akwaraa no because the way ebi wɔ hɔnom a wɔda hɔnom a no wɔka mu wɔsi obi epulu nneɛma wɔ ne mu nti no sometimes no the way some people deal with emotional trauma no is completely different from that. Nti no most of the time no. It's really important for us to learn to deal with when you're feeling things inside and that don't hold on to them. All right, feel the feelings by talking about what you are going through to the right person or people, professional people, because don't just go and speak to anyone, because we know says most people that we're closer to know, you speak to their mouth. As Pastor Okoso will say, you don't speak to their head, because Oma would do okasa trauma no no omu ye konkonsa omuntimi enkom anu ntum no ne won kasa bi ma na so ye ya or the wasem beba akoto dwa nti no se wo kasa kire nipa wo kasa kire niti enye na no senior or do beko but find effective way to press forward. The most empowering is when you refuse, to be a victim. Don't ever be a victim. Be a survivor, because otherwise, when you play the victim role, you get stuck. You settle for less. You accept foolishness, excuses, blaming games. And, every time when something's not going right, you're going to, put it on. No, don't be a victim. Victims should never accept blames from abusers' problems, because the abuser is the problem. You're not. Foolish fools and unintelligent behavior, societal lack of boundaries, they all like play part in it. For me per se, I really don't care about what people think of me. Because yesterday I missed Sister Yatobra's program. I was like, oh man, I missed it, but I was able to still contribute, and she said something which our society doesn't more. We are so judgmental, and then you have a lot of hypocrites. We enable so many foolishness and nonsense, negative things, but then those who speak the truth and do the right thing, we always judging them and assuming and accusing. I don't care, talk about me, because when people do talk about me, it tells me I'm doing the right thing, and it tells me that my life and me per se is more important to you than yourself. So if you have time to focus on me, because people who talk about other people, the people they're talking about is more important than them, and they cannot measure up to that person. So they have to say things to defame the person, even though they never succeed, because at the end of the day, the truth will always come out. Just that the lies travels faster than the truth. But don't worry about what others says about you, because if they do care so much for you, let them do all the work. You just sit back and do your very best, because you don't own nobody's nothing. So just like I said something, I said, well, I really don't care about what other people think of me, because they don't take care of me. They don't buy me food. They don't pay my bills. I do all that through my hardcore work. So no, they can say whatever. That's not me. Or like they can talk behind me. It don't matter to me. You have to live your life to the fullest, because we only have one life to live. So if I'm going to worry about what other people are thinking about me, oh my gosh, I will not be able to do anything in life. my craziness. Most people don't know my craziness, but my craziness is like a good crazy. But I mostly have fun. Because I, I know. Live life on your own terms. Oh, I love that term. I love that. This bum 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 bum. I'm telling you, you have to live your life as you see fit. All right. Stop copying people. Stop being follow. I mean, like for me, if I'm going to follow people, I will follow the things, the examples that Sister Yatubra is showing, Boss Lady is showing, Sister Yushanka is showing, Sister Sage Williams. Like I'm just going to follow those who have, positivity, who I know I can learn things from, that I'll be able to also utilize it to build myself up. I don't follow nonsense and foolishness, so I don't do that. I don't even have the energy for it. I will use that to read. Oh, Sister Yahoda. Oh my gosh. Kay, did you pick up my books? Kay, where's my books? Oh, I see it now. My Tommy book with the atu baby I care ko year free honum. Yeah, I have my book. Oh my god. Yes, me the book na ba the end no me call for a promo, right? Oh my gosh. Okay. So like let me go for promo. Let me go here. It's like I know. I got my book. You guys need to get your book. Yes. Extra. Read all about it. Refreshing for my weary soul. A devotional. This is a devotional book from Sister Ya Atobra. Sister Ya for the Atobra. Hey, Charlie. This book here. Hey, what a wow. Miss Minsaka, I didn't know what to do with it. So, okay, so Sister Ya said, people pleasing is toxic. It drains you, and there will be nothing left of you. I'm telling you, sis. I'm telling you. She said, I don't know. You chrome for bebre, especially money bebre. I don't know. Say ebi mutimi make it their business about somebody's life. Obi aware. Obi lifestyle. Like, what do I care? I really truly don't care about what this one is. It's not helping me. I need to do things that will be beneficial to me. Obi obechira de na beto mitrim. Na me nso metimi de bi ato me na akoto dwam se me hia no ene ya ochina chi me use and say a year from now make me a use. I mean, this book Sister Yatobra is writing is going to be here forever, unless I say I decide to pass it on. But me turn back or me turn it multiplies into so be pay bianam the man say son me direct to Amazon. And to say let me do that and then I will conclude and then I'll be off. Yes, let me go up here. All right. And let me begin with Antilla's book corner. Sister Ya for the Atobra ne Facebook page and I say YouTube page, monko YouTube na monko subscribe or wati. Mon like the page na mon follow Auntie Ya's books Auntie Ya's book corner monko follow on Facebook. Why? I'm gonna like it. To say Tuesday, Sister Yaya practical and Yamisam. Full vim. Thursdays, or live videos now or alternate or rotate with the 3 books actual 3 books no, she wrote it in between COVID time. I mean, to say that is incredible. That's amazing. And then the books in read, yeah, like you have, she leaves spaces for you to, like, she asks questions. Once you bet me at if you have some insightful and I say some contribution, I want to bet me at into that or better life and I say be who per se will be some questions be and I say once you share some contribution regarding a book pages be I will read it, like your experience reading it and some of the things that you would like to share with her. Now you are more than welcome to do so. I just love how her writing is basic English, so you can understand it. So me a dictionary too, where the be a want to ask you can go through your dictionary to get the meaning of the word. And to say Tuesdays, well, in the first book, Reflections of a Thirsty Soul, which is inspirational book and it's incredible. And then the second book, which I talk about, like each time I read it, from pages to pages, it feels like I truly feel like she came and interviewed me and wrote the book about me, but it's not about me. She's telling her story. And I know a lot of women going to relate to the book, the youth are going to be related to it. Yesterday, when Sister Ya does program, she talked in terms of young, the youth and young children from age 10 and up. You can read it, okay? So, and then our men, you guys can also read that book. The second book is The Beauty of a Woman's Heart, for you guys to understand us women, inside out, very much so. But don't, you still have to learn us. And then her third book, which was released, published on October 12th last month, is Refreshing for My Weary Soul, which is a devotional book. And so I need you guys to go to Amazon, order yours, your hard copy. This way, before you go to bed, like when you go to bed and you kind of stress out, you're having a hard time going to bed, you can start doing some reading, half an hour to an hour reading. Sometimes I read and fall asleep as I'm reading. Sometimes you can also do meditation and stuff. And then on Sundays, on Sundays is Auntie Ya's Cozy Book Chat with Obapa Yabi Russell. I think say of lately, Sister Yabi Russell is like on a break, or she has some other event that she's attending to. So Tia is coming on her own and she's doing great. When you have two in one, no, it's magical, but she's keeping the magic up. So Sister Atobra Yedase, Nana G, I will start reading. I got this I believe 4 days ago, but I haven't started reading yet because I've been so busy. But tonight I will start, and then I'll let you know where I'm coming from, what I got from it, how I'm feeling about this book. Ooh, a little drop of towel. Ooh. This is nice. I love it. And Let me go. Okay, after so no, I would like for you guys to contact Yanya sister. When him dear. Na oh. Doc no, then doc. We want cover. Give me a minute and then I will have you come and talk small. Yeah, sister. Oba pa, otawe nim dear count sister Aisha Ankra. So we hear juice plus natural supplements. After so Avon products, so we hear lipstick, chapstick, all the things that. Hey, sister, Doc, no, then Doc, I'm to say. I'm to say. Oh yes, so I do need insure me when you papa. It's good to have you on.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, emotional trauma na me promo kitwa binti. Just hold on, give me a few minutes, like 2-3 minutes, and then maybe I now the atwa. So I think men free so. Okay, and say we hear Avon lipstick, cologne, perfume, nomne home ba. Reach out to your sister Aisha Ankra. One, not to say, or no so. Mako my support no. I so sister Yabi Russell so no as or beauty advocate, and then she does 100% natural health stuff. Ain't to say DM her for all the information. Boss lady one. Hey, boss lady, dear woman that about rasta. Oh no ababijano. Any your dog back this is a comfort miracle boss lady so or see one in fire drive time on weekdays, okay, from 4 p.m. UK time on Fire Life Radio. Almost see Oja de Mankasa. Saturdays in so ma metrebo ani akra almost in Sankofa almost chi kasa no. Se sister mreku a ye doc ba kope. Thursdays is a mental health you know what can you tree now meet na say what a wow. I know na say no to me pensen same Adwoa Odo international kasa me can tree nko a me say agro no nti e se brofo no de me de befem mo ye den abrofo no de no an meka all the time. Because se me ni obi di nkomo de atwi no meka no rough but se me nko na meka de nsem bebrain afen so ayi sister monko sageshare.com to get some authentic merchandises, t-shirts with some traditional clothing or t-shirts. No one who see my shabby most of the time, and I'll continue to alternate and wear them. Very authentic, good materials. May seen a couple times. Ne corning chain sanya tia na tie mo amwo Canada ne de mo gusu twɛn minim samo twɛn nti na sese me break kakra me pese me di beyi mo hi bebre ache ba hye de me hye enti no te say na afen so no upe t-shirt upe dresses, creams, jewelries, beads na te say wo ko no ma t-shirt na bi akala wo pe no hu mema wa ba mu wo de pick wo size a wo pe ne dodo a wo pe box kitwa bi wo hono my comment box wo ka kire no colors of the shirt na wo pe no or sister say be contact not just say through your email I'll be provided because our information email no dear is necessary so not just say when we di ho komo na wo di bibia wa pe bibia e de abro afenso yeah sister and Angel back, sister Angel and a bar or non juice plus not to be into waiting me a contact for healthy living, natural supplement, and also to support him. And sister Sister Mrekwa, Doc. Chale, I am so glad you came. And you know, Mema Wakwaba. Yes, I don't need to my pomu dear, papa. Why basun no ama many anje because meaning say America crana obey, you know, be pensen, no maybe. And you know, and then I'm talking about emotional trauma. And to say I talked about natural disaster, you know, acute, chronic, and all the others that needs to be there. But me say so and then I share a little bit of my story regarding when I was sexually assaulted, and then me share her story not one of the people which I thought was a dumb question to ask because it's a me see my sorry no pebi na se me see mindi mi huni na ma adwen da ho no na me se mekwa abonten na naked cramp no obi eni kwan eni to me say yes or the nsaka me because me na me de me ho enti say obi bebusa me say edin na na wo hye te say ne it's my fault nti na ma sa de ne baaye so
I believe that I think but we need to say it. I believe so obey African.
Obey day.
Africa.
Oh, I African yankasa. No dear
because to me master sebita fracture say appointing am hona obaka said na ya
the correct.
Anyway, say money aduma me tia tie for ni ahwefo ni obi a
no correct. It'll be also.
Yo, Kafra, some way can be a metibino. Na, as I say, I am a Kafra because any meresa say, why it will be at home. No, you cannot send a who dance, and especially say, only pano, ewa, I didn't know how one and who you're pa.
Oh, yes.
Because we're losing in the sense of waiting. I want dini, you know. I bet not that Betty did a Betty. It is also more. Who dear no. So we are also when you're Diana, so we need strategy.
You're in trouble. Yeah, because no. I mean, TCI almost sending obi attack how you can protect yourself. And you know, like even with that, you know, I mean, meaning baby, I mean, yeah, what they need be free. But to say, I can feel say Nikwati abremo daminaso. Just saying, see, I that times when I was sexually active, and you know, meaning what was in this guy's mind. So, you know, to say, social worker be our bar officer through honoma. And can mean the ABC because after they drew baby no now I said my betting and I am because he was a strong man. And you know, like when this person said I just felt like, you know, it's like you know will be a chawa so strong I just said was you don't know. You didn't see it coming. We'll be like, how dare you ask me such a dumb question?
Mommy, Nimboro Wakasa West, emotional intelligence.
No, correct.
I don't know. Maybe I free banner. Be before.
No, correct.
You know. At the condemning, yes, I see a condemn act in a moment. You condemn victim in the moment. Emma over really sorry, cry and then Obekan and what to in your share. No, correct. echo through that. Remember this echo be with dear. But so we up or body. Yeah, why you Bema to the other?
No, correct. Normally, mema na yire mato.
Yes. And I'm sorry. So what put through that, traumatic, papa.
That's it, sis.
I'm sure that there is support. Any because we, no matter how, so we are psychologists in say you are not going to forget it. And if you are dreaming with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean it's like it did. Time I see, it did affect me in some ways because I chose to be single for a long time, for almost 5 years, because not to say many it was a struggle for me at some point. And it took a while for me to kind of overcome that.
And I'm glad that what to me I overcome it because the BB says yeah, not next person in only panel life or any panel moment struggle.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank God I didn't carry that over because of breaking me taking. I wasn't in a relationship and I did not jump into a relationship. I just took my time to heal first. To work on myself before and me getting into any relationship.
Yeah. And healing process also external obia a bit forever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, forever. The time mommy be almost so far. Ni abuse and to me chance no far no
my.
Now all women every time I so pushing moment I friend and now what kai the AC that day no.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Yes, he said that Rebecca said push now we're squeezing the bomb moment.
Oh my gosh.
Said they're not and that baby was in distress and heart rate drop. My baby not happy and so they had to do cesarean emergency one.
Oh my.
And it just so happens that after the cesarean night, the were buying on I was still remembering that because first anesthetic in or you're stable.
Wow.
And each time I agitated and restless. Yes, my cesarean wounds, no. She died out of it.
Oh my gosh, that is tragic.
Yes.
Oh.
And a few days later, the baby knows to see.
Oh my goodness.
When you peppy way happy way back, she was just a little girl and obedient to me and stop for Sadia. And Biana or Yenesa, and Biana or Yenesa for Pimsa radio or the Benny saying, and then but then Biano who is said or a sexual object. No acquire.
Ye kuro musadia ni die. I mean to say you be a would dream one won't say.
Yeah. You're bad. It's and near my is Susanswa a debrayer. And you're not a PDA as Mikhail, it's powerful forever.
No, correct.
But the Dynamia is some would be no. Would see me take his time. Not would be I. And no, should I say,
oh no. I mean to say I use it to educate people. Say like sometimes who say will be Abrabo koyi anase obi ani agye and no interest nipa no they haven't experienced anything. So to say see, and yet all glitters are gold, right? And but to say, like, I think to say taking psychology, and also me. So because I was able to like learn some of the things the coping skills, and being able to like talk about it and not hold on to things. I mean, sometimes it's forever, right? I mean, like anything in my marriage, and some of you have heard me, like when it comes to a DA, I love a DA sister. So like it didn't, I didn't allow it to define me, right? And I'm just grateful. Say, Nipano, when Timmy, I'm violating me. So because me feel say, anka ne bema kwa share madi enimu dianka. I don't know if I will be where I am today.
No. It's a very different story.
Yeah.
It's a very different story. By the time I say, I'm here for the night. Or the kind of FSA or yes.
No, correct.
So Kaka market is a brain, me found for you. West me I apple, me Kaka Kirby.
Not his sister.
Or emotional trauma, no. Edam Jimmy Pagine. Now, the Edibacono, that frightful or with challenging events may be seen. So you, but the Edibaba actually, a hope and a seminal, a war.
No, correct.
Times, no, a support system, no. I, anywhere, a yana, a Jenny panel every day, waking up to think, say, at the end, I feel as I you.
No, correct.
Wow, a big 8 meter will be feeling lonely, any overwhelmed. A big son of and many panel physically, almost have more. I said, your man, every time I know. Now, say, or no one able to, or no one can self harming. Or any my big brain. It's in the Obiana said, or couple with such situation. Now, that word resilience, no? A year not the Biameka say, a year Juma war breakwa, I didn't see, and sick a cred. But a sick a year, and no any Juma will
no correct.
A me mouth ability be would be under that situation. And throughout the years. And as to say, life in the Nasa, the Edika, not a duet, and a man see any pebia, a group baby, and as to say, a my group baby, and my any pebia emotionally, no, you're carrying your mouth for a long time.
No, correct, yeah.
I would ask I on the first date, obey to me, I on the first love, obey to me, wedding anniversary, say a man a car time.
No crack. That's a boo. I'm pa.
After let me now or put you stress near the idea and then Nema made no and Nema papa didn't buy. And every day be a mammy be a palana so no or session. Every day be a palana which means say meeting the course of intentum, and as I say, a near my straightforward. But it do time, Nipa party the beba, who is a palani days of birth, Papa don't
and your papa phone a craving a kai, in case your kind in my birthdays.
I see. I said, ain't no banner crab birthday on kai, and my car near my big free. Ain't no and maybe or meant to me uncle to send you who see me cook I make job. A big crowd, not about the job will say, person be ado mo sa person can you in terms of relationship and I say will be ben close and then who be cry ben no connect even though when you pan actually any person they are constantly arguing same be issue ma wo no mo dey because someone na no what them say wa tete o ma brabo e back any person so to me who finish on person or social nyoma no dey who be system
yeah
already so when you proper support here now than in same way and they be so no this person wake up in fear
and
they be because when we start here between and yet to by pony be and ask to say and you may be no
anxiety they become anxious.
Yes. Any self-destructive behavior and then be more. And I can be ideal for chronic to the be also you.
No correct.
And penny first your work is so you know. Bear money baby next year happen. When you say where you do my GD and you and depressing, over feeling depressed.
Yeah.
And guilt. And because why being able to say, especially free baby, I free now. Your money to say a year to now. And already the workers I won't feel guilty. And I will feel shame since I didn't happy.
No correct.
I work with your mom. You keep going down every single day because it's supposed to be any home. You better class when I have a labor and said you will start again. You said okay, and I said, how are you going to go about it? And your woman move forward.
Na doc enye nu nti na ya mpanyifo ni bi no mo ya wenga for molesters no omo koso yes ade no because say ofa akwala no na is find out na akwala no na ye di blame ma no say we akwala bone.
Yes. Oh ya akwala bone onu no be twe ne kwatna so.
O chese na make catch up but I doc to say self-destructive now what kind destruction self-destruction now what kind no say obi wo ho no ma because I know someone who shared with me say she was raped growing up from age 7 and up into no oba abroad no she started displaying the self-destruction behavior no ne mema that rough so to say instead say on so ebi mu wo no ma they isolate themselves from that type of behavior, right? But obi nso wo no ma sad no because they say they have been violated or feels just say when she obi ano ni panada or say sa na no wo ye enti say no when ya chronic sickness bi a say because of that say or yare
I had I'm sorry to hear that. I had and you said
I know.
If you can't beat them, join them.
No correct.
The society Obina a best proper Kakrebia or for say attention now will be no. It's not a big baby money.
No correct.
And you no person my bank to give you. Nemo only part back of who could say only 4 years I want ya not so bad the I wouldn't say or baby in
that's exactly what happened because Oba had said no not on shed was it new of no ene ne fire funti ne maame be fa no na omuko yi abusuafo no ko yi nyinsan ne guye. Enti no oba ha say no to say relationship okọ mu nyina no omo hui what she has gone through into us. Most of the men nyina they took advantage of that. They took advantage of that. As any you will console you, ube huana vurudu. So
and bibi here na reho na so you say or see me mouth support until no was why be so obi ma attention when you be na afeni pana ginye free so otu agi mo free ni pana na ofufra san frel
no correct
na be at the beginning no na all enjoy yeah ready to sell or best settle down for any relationship
no correct
baby na yete man no and no na almost so fa ho no bronya ho no mo dey wi no e wo ho
some
planning say o person ni obi ada because of the time na onu ade be hwe ne ho de amiya na kru ama na ni sibu kru emiya na ya kru enti ekura wo miya no e do enti so obi eso ni mo but said it one who be free ye mi aba wa pere pa because say I happen I will see answer for one time enti no on oyam can no na mo okay
most definitely
language enye my enye so no of say yes sir name mo di abatu ne kwan mu no enti e say of parents are load no ahead na all the come because I'm going oh yes I didn't say only say enjoyment be na enjoyer and remember no buy.
Oh, most definitely, because I say no, we're chronic illness. I say, she's going through a lot now. Like at setbacks country like it really hit my heart, and they say, to say she can't even confront the person that did that to her because nipa ne free mu, and she has all this anger boiled in. I mean, she won't be or pour it all that on, but she feels the need to confront the person, but she cannot do that. And internally, no, she's going through a lot. But nipa ben no obi enim sa. I mean, to say a couple last year moon like as I was saying Asia. You chromu maybe or not to different states. And you know to say one anything common she shared some of their conversation to say like she said it and you maybe a bear money catch no but to say kasa no I just pick up a pattern in it. Every time be a bear man be friendly be a obusa sister nisika so no so they are common and you know one time I'm busa and say na to say winning this year no mahu was it there be and now what me busa and say na bear man no I say besra no ana was see bear man ne ka so mess afi they drew honum no every time be no guy ne say ne juma de ne ko baby say there was always some type of excuses and I'm saying sister to Nsem say sikanu jai fako wouldn't say what to Nsem no after your friend be man in phone on phone be mo entity say sika when you free ni honum no he's just playing her or playing with emotions. Yeah, he was telling her all the things she wants to hear, but it wasn't from his heart. He's just no walking casa to dupe her. To make a chance when Johnny see mon command is because we not one no I buy that room. Intino te say won kran so so hwe omo intino na won so yare so ohun so wuntimi ndi be ma chi na wo be ma onu nya adwuma na da bia different problems. Yeah, you come for ebi mu ye nipa bone. What's abroad? Now oba or no to say she's going through so much or no first camera all the time. There be answer about a different story. Into me man jazz ni sikama no. I'm sure that he's cursing me a lot, but I don't care. Wajane friend or friend or crampo on fa phone. Intino bese bese 4 months no friend. Yes, sister, no or friend na asem first I obeka say ohun ni enti a waja ne sika mana odidi ne nanfofo achi no tietie because oda o ma nam sister to wadwen mu da o pesika. I know, right? But it's really sad. I mean, she has gone through the worst of the worst. Senor Kai, on a daily basis, she gets triggers, and she sometimes she feels it like she goes through her moment to say as her DNA happen at the moment. To say at times no crampo no. She's not able to like interact with nobody, which is like really bad and sad, but it's a for no, a lot of us do not have empathy. And it say when be story, you shouldn't judge anyone because I mean I was really dumbfounded that some people are really truly going through because we offer it me foul and Emma will fire phone. No more son sako yin senego. How? Ebusiafo bebraining. Nobody said a thing. Yeah, because also bedroom has say no or join any mammy no. Na or the beye me masam nintino ebeye se on se Ghana ni ma ayawofo almost see what ya krabon intino. She ended up in the foster home. Obi o mama no, she ended up in a foster home. How? And she felt say or say sister, I felt like my family just threw me away like I'm garbage. So I started sleeping with anyone. Obia or baby me like and I'm nakoda. Yeah.
Obi kasem dachre wa o gasa for wasempa ekodo ho enti no wani beba wo so a wo behu se oye wa binza ne mo onye sympathizer na ayefule.
No, correct. And the papa. I mean, they said I always pray for her. Say like, oh, thank you, Dr. Kinsley. Joe Kinsley, I'm saying it's good to see you. Into doc, they said I always pray for her. Say to say nyankopon ebe mano ahwodin na tete wetimi amana release some of the things that she's feeling because when baby I was sweating because or say sister say a drew time me person me confront to me abuser but he's no more in this world. And to me catch and say she can also channel like obet me up John be natural all the anger everything in, and then once she finished pouring them out obeti mi ashi book na so obekọ pubi mu na waja tomu na ede nsuo ne de akọ na just we're releasing some of the anger.
Adie ba ko a senka omu betumi so aye di aboa no en so ye say bi a nipa no yes ano say bi a omu nim ne hu nipa bi a
oh okay.
Nanka omu muano was that fine so You bet me so when the D Nadia because you are witness be. I think Opikofodia. Yes, sir. I did not have you for so many 35 years and no keep my bar Amsterdam.
Oh wow.
I didn't see 7 years. They see you know 7. And I also name my member sign and side in a buy. Yes. Not on person back of them, wow. So, and one day, yeah, one of psychologists said, you bet me I say, uncle who only pan out this side and here, and then no pray or coin, not before the whole baby of Cobitan and see a Tony Panocra will. I don't think in America you have to travel all the way to a year so far for your idea, but they work for sure. And now, of curtains, when you when they did at the end of curtains, I follow we what 7 years ago. DAC ain't at the end of more comfort. Ain't the only and so the identity curtains a ampa would need that a bit to me up because me, you know, D Nadia or your bearman.
Oh, okay.
And one get it to share with the identity so even though almost so in the but I said, you are so anymore here, journey. And my neck can't some who for so more than 30 minutes last idea we say air fossil. So the and it's almost catch up almost then on calm down. What you can not to be able to get better. So it's like one more, but no TNC, we're going to so. I don't know this I me kind of year me too. That means yes, you must have a patch of jam and I mean, and it's like it was a movie. It was a movie. You see, oh yes, I didn't mean and I thought, if you know why you believe.
Yes.
At the age of 47, and son of Benjamin Bewuye. It's a clinic channel as a so possible. But I don't think a better work to say any by you will see America said they make or a but say be a way who need to be announced to say become even cemetery will be the best place since we know he's dead.
Most definitely. Because they say we're a loner. Just say or no kwan in the man or say Nema Edine call a foster she hasn't been able to forgive her mother also because of first sending my men so to nickname to say or your ball and tino or ni sending my many dollars sending or done in map ne man or bewoon or more hano.
Bibi sa happy any panona what done it to say cactus.
No correct.
What desert so? What's that? Cactus or desert so? Plastic bag be and no next. Now plant rubber be not papa to children. Say gay obey so you're careful.
No correct.
She's tall. And what be a bitter so and yet the fort so you bitter.
No correct.
And you will be a there be I can say or bad how extreme now basically me to support your child. You be and you and a young did for than to stand say medium medicinal. Let me support allow 1 year me bow 1 year me bow me support no. But your fool say and when he master and me who are me cop many more say I'm in for Emma warrior or
that's one of the certain conditions where your society in the community near movie. They care so much about what other people think. It omuntimi nye to support their own children. So, which is very bad because so many women have been abused sexually, emotionally, psychologically. I mean, yeah, many being so they have gone through, but by society, and mother also say mema completely. Yeah.
If you are one day, obviously said you can overthrow side in another put in a cemetery. We are still say a one of a panel.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
It will help. Maybe it will help. Yeah.
Yeah.
A starting, you know, emotional trauma, they say, a long way.
Yeah.
And this is a right support. And sana nipa no betimi ade ne ho because insunsan so a na de brain bad. And last one of insunsan so ni bi no so compulsive behavior pattern. And you know, ade ba ko obeya say we pass bia and now when the bear my day I came. Na kwa friend, na kwa friend. And what Saya kwabena di yin na no kwadwo so did the same time when we are the same thing a long way your cognitive your behavior and your and the idea back na wudi ni pan because them be an or intrusive thoughts woni dream onya nightmare in a big crowd so memory in terms of the papa as a human I didn't become want to be concentrated way too many. Any mood swings can be aware confused. Or I just open a bit to understand when you're in with are you in? We should know it
no correct. Now a dog could say like on say your chrome for no because of because of lack of knowledge, limited mindset, you know. When it comes to emotional trauma, now will be a whole full say, oh, now we're saying should they say, and how concerning should we be when it comes to emotional trauma?
You sis, as I say, you're very papa because impact the brain and your back of it. Wouldn't say be a metaphor no bit mikato want to kick out when I dare say be a na want to say when you want to want to tell by a shape white pack at the mayor on 1 year reboot. Yeah, can but as I did the whole and yes, I
correct.
So you can I decide and I don't know. When your mood swings, when your near be brave, and when I come, but to me you're confused, disoriented, and you might go to memory loss. The behavior so all boy the activities be brave. Now I'm
oh yeah, so on himself Jarina ni huye hama mema beba ni hunti send ye beya people will move away from them.
Yes. And you know, on person jare ko be their personal in hygienic care or avoiding things to see your consent. And physical so no and breath and be no breath.
No correct. Exhaustion.
Yes. And nemuno on person kakra bi na bi a BBC o mutimi ni nkofo for the best to do na no every how interested in a member and
no correct.
Now, when it comes to psychological, so there be any panel you overwhelmed.
No correct.
Or chum crown or no answer to create more cutting to more. None of your master. You're not a big and on you penny. On you panka said, you saw your bath, say a bearman. On you will be ready. I just say be about to be no more too. If you are mommy, where you are unique,
Nampa.
Now, if you are no work, apart from that, in the rest of the world, on person on you will be a better. Because and my depression, emotionally, no, I am numb. Into the BBC, I will say, oh, Jina Ho Jolie, on your view, no one who didn't have the coordinator. Depression, or shock. BBI and the book. Aggressive or and any panic attack or Hanani Master. Or did I all cry out for someone who are bothering?
No, correct.
Hey, 925 we didn't have to see I can find what bothering me. And near me, of course, when you find out in one. It's as I see my and you bring your money and that say, or be a DD at home. As I see you and support I had the man.
No, correct.
But I also recommend say there should be a Nema Yadibu upon every media was anything creating awareness in school. There was that support in the home. And as I said, any part you who said this hour,
no, correct. Welcome.
Oh, I did when you find a name right support as a demand. Yet to me, any support mechanism now, able to me, a dear boy star, any pana, or more course, I didn't. A bit me radio, there will go, a bit me TV, a bit me office, TV, I'll bet me a castle, tiny as a town cat. Oh, be a B office, a town council, and near my B office in Kitchen to be the BB says, yeah, young for stigma be a matter for one of them. Never yet to say, oh, dear be by my office, and to say, I'm my opportunity when I didn't see my dear send home, no bad office. That sort of thing, no confidential.
No.
You bet me my right support, Eddie Amasa anyway. Science says, I am almost near and you're concerned about this. Latest not, because when they come with that aggressive behavior, when they come with multiple behavior dysfunction, Afghanistan for Pakistan for almost to bomb America. You be say a DN started studying business. Into Subenia or being Subedanet, Bibina started. Into Yamma Nipa, or Mako through abuse, support, right support. I'm almost the setting behaviors, attack here with society. Yet to me, and say, yes, start behavior, compulsive behavior.
No, correct. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
Annie Ochenyampa Sofo Samokoso and I will come, and he was having problems with his phone. Friend and I was sending a use to be reading. We're trying to figure out ways and means to get hold of him, but he said we'll come on tomorrow. And one love to you always. That's it. Yamisha says, "Ya dog ba kope ayana yawada boss lady dear Oba live Monday through Friday 4 p.m. UK time by yawada boss lady in the platform no ato no mo say ya doctor ba kope samrekua bebana wa be talking about mental health debi wo hono mo nso a she goes outside of that and then talk about other health issues, right? And then self-care, see ye timishia de ye hwe ye ho so ye, because we all have one life to live. It mean say me no asase so a me won say me wu kwa, there will no more be Adwoa Odo. Obi ani ho no mo betimi aye Adwoa Odo agire me nko a. And obi ani wo betimi aye ye doctor ba akope sister comfort miracle anim. Obi ani wo betimi aye boss lady. We each and everyone, we have unique abilities. Inti no obi betimi akope, but wo kope okrampo na na sa copy the a reflection of a so who original now make it copy it's never the same as the original. And now some about some require.
Yes, woman, no, said yes, yes, oh, I'm quite to her every one of pencil. So, I say, I a boy, or to table be as a crown and near Bria and near dishes as a the old brad. Let me another Koyana, so Mekuna Madi, and another your original.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I asked some more. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. And there can never be Sister Aisha Anchor or no, or original. Sister Yatobra, only one. Sister Sage, one. I don't form there's only one of you, you know. Nobody can, people can try to copy you, but they can never be you. And you know, I said we need to value ourselves and then work on ourselves. I mean, to say, send me kind fitiasi, me so be anywhere one Ghana, they have not been traumatized somehow. Because a broke ramp you are traumatized. And when you get all the flogging, it's part of the trauma. Oh, sister, you're free crobby so. Hey, this is. I know. I mean, I think that discipline your crow move for almost I see a different. And saying your friend is saying abroad, you know. Your crow when they hear discipline now, to say a bro, but we say boo ba akra ne soro. Me say me kwatena ya ofa no mu bi no monche no sister. Ba ku bi boro me saa no mi kodi nsemone a me de to ho nsemone a me di ye bumi a eye okay meji bro na na. Metimi di nsemone because minim say wo bumi a me ho ye me ya at the end no ya no beko. Intimate me de me way okay ade we ya me be yes ye bumi a. Is it worth it? Me say yes. Me a metimi ka dem ho say an me ye ni abome.
That's how the milk episode some.
Me tam na me dia do grand pa me num ni nyina na awie na abo me wi a adan sa still wunya o milk ma no ma wi. You say to bra Mati, you call me before. I afraid me because I don't want to miss the program. Okay, say to bra. Okay, I will keep in mind for Thursday. All right. Because I am a messy Sayatobra programmer and I'm a messy good one. Me what the topics to be banner say sad topics because there are certain topics now, sister. Eba, I have so much to contribute. Ube who to say like nipane kasa na ideas neighbor me say oh yes na me so me churo bi na me de me foolishness nyina ne na mu.
No, Adwoa, you are telling the person say one who said they be a say even though una was na wokasa but actually say enye
Of course.
Me come and talk be your baby. Nana sister also why level 2 in mental health.
Okay.
Or church and yama was here. To me, and I'm a dana so also the contribution a buyer said, young friends here. Obi that level 2 idea or church no. Even level 1 crumpona was here, baby.
No correct.
Many parties say, Obi Petro be na yen in Adia upon the room because they run here.
No correct.
Oh, yes, I'm tired for the master.
Yeah, we just sharing opinions, and learning from each other, sharing information, learning from each other. And they be here.
Yeah, catch no man for say, yeah, possibly. Maybe now, if I say, you know, your puppy, a comedy, and you know, your puppy, make it a by ready, meanwhile, by running quite to me.
No correct. No correct. And a plantain, no Kobe, no me, I didn't know the Abba Frefra.
You're all party, my friend, or Beppo, you know.
And also, ye echo ye.
Yes, I did next thing and see a big diamond.
No correct.
And the would the back up when Benny did diamond behind. And when they hear
I'm papa. Yes. Yes. And to notice Thursdays, Monday through Friday, boss lady moment say Friday, dear sister, I Doc Becca said, I don't know, right? Friday, see their boss lady, the platform, they two of them say, with the Nsem who you know, be count ho. Me say, boss lady, the platform, they swear the rough, and the rough. Into Yawada, a dog oba, Obana will be treacherous, new matter say so many things. Say, I went through number.
Next week, week 7 of cancer awareness.
Oh wow. To say, I'm telling you guys, like it's very resourceful, like incisive, very educational, like great teachings. Mrs. Sister Mekwa Ketria. Hey, Sister Mekwa Awukasa. Man, I've been loving the way I would timidity tree no church new mamusano.
Me Sano. Ghana, a graphic. Obia won you be Saba. As a Cassandra. Omoba sister, no matter cover of 4 years. Yet, you must be no crack as a Cassandra. Maybe I made a appointment. Na everyone a bit through time your backup program you nada. And you know,
no, my sorry.
One day, and I saw for Lucas, I said, lay a Monday through Friday. Friday. Science, the tree. No, I said, wow, a tree, a good abasin. What? Yeah, Papa. That's when the back is in a one was the Biano. Who bet me a visa? In the after night, I can say, if you mean, son of Papa. Almost back and maybe maybe so because I said, Mom, back I am back here with some international phobia. When I'm so Papa mean to me, Miss Happy, the treasure. You make money, I can say, we here, boy, and some
bombing some movie.
Also, put them back, no catch him, said. Almost way when we see that I'm no measles in the coil and it's Yarian and I know with the Papa would have born a topper and no catcher and say no party free money or can say cheese or can say. And to end up Papa, Nancy says, no one to me country, no one you Ghana for just I will be a question. Me a sister, Dano, and I'm a cattle with Simon say, Miss Shia dear Sim. And that me shall not be a psychology mental health for the lady. Put the end here, Sapalaya be a Yapur, and the end of Mapala could be able to will be.
No, correct. Yeah, Akran's was across no tickets here. Me a drew baby no na fe crampo de Ubabu me saying Ubu me ana me soon. What the effect you baby? I didn't care no more because they say like what else is new? And you know to say like me to me shada could din some money and some money to say like me ya me the me per se and then the me ye ya bumi I am mummy and family. I just would do things, you know, just to say because now for them I fed up because yes so bra crabby bra was throw the me throw ye but me na and me myself there and no me lie.
Why you used to the system of these things in your brain? Oh, Baba,
Oh, of course.
I'm finding out in Temple like you to sign. Miss here be this one. Make a car. Maybe she was sending me now your tree. Yeah, said yeah, Papa. When we back a say a week, oh, yeah. Candy and Ryan kind no matter
oh, I'm gonna summarize it.
My so confused. And si bra, minya, akwenya sema no, missing no. Baby, a last week we and it be a kekako. Mefeno, Nami dia start here for home. The country home, yeah. Make change the Munamade, who fry here by the canoe. At also. Being far or yeah, best at two way no. You know, rate in the carp
yeah. No correct. So be grand Saturday in the first day at least you know one man or a picture of baby I watch her see any baby I went through any baby I will bet twice. So that is like awesome. Wow, that is so intelligent. Incredible.
Also, yeah, dear,
me that's success.
And then Ghana
most definitely. But the test is I said you chromo for your padishing. I mean, seriously, to say almost supporting a for outside your community, right? Yeah, supporting your community, right? And you know, how can you get someone to support you? So until Okasa will can. Most of them are inform, you know. Yeah. No correct. I know the ample. It's very sad. Yeah, already. Yeah. You've been developing our chemo because it is a you're more crap and your man we don't want to learn something new. die ye nimuna enu enkoye enso ye da so te ho enu an ye use ah oh my gosh. Yeah, some more. Charlie. I mean, Mimpaya Meboane say majority of us, you bet me I grow from the yes, drew near yes, be a kahoni and ma. Yeah, better a ma dear. Me no that be a programmer. I think about resources no name some may becca because me man me 11-year-old ne 13-year-old no I mean radio on the or no and I'm 26 when ye wamaya na nakura enti no to say 11 and 13 omunyi na se omu behu any video amaye that's any nam social media no ne ade na would they benefit from it? That's what when I'm coming live, that's what is in my mind. Say me money be benefited from it and they will be proud of me now, then it's something meeting me. But it says me man benefited from it now. Not just say it's not something I should bring and talk about. Me that's me ba ya dok ba ko me da se pa so wanya akwanya no aba na wonso wa pensen ni o memu wutwi ni dia ya wo kan ye me de pa because it say send your chire mu breaky ni o ma me adwa sister ya to bra se o me ni no kro twi no aya me twi e mo se me ni obi di nkomo a eno de me kan e da so good. But I mean, na make us minim say I am my anxious so me ma. Yes. Intino semi ye no de ne brofo ne dose sin twi no semi ni obi kasa de a ene twi ne damu clear no problems ani wo Kofi TV right was me when it clear. All right, Samuel go am dance pa nyame nhira o enche bia me kwa akoye empemu nkomodi nti I was san kofa why pe many dia gi san komo ne ho kra no di onim Mati, I almost found me to Facebook first. No more the 20. I am a call a tuning now. No, my share what me page, by me share on one of my your program new year. A be or ham person me quote no over, but me kono not the almost no currently, no moment was so. Yeah, because before now on the to Facebook, you can go back and listen to the program again. I mean, it's very intriguing because on seeing it's no be doing right. Near what your meme be was swa almost one wukras me dear poto. I was one with me dear poto, Miss Maswan about hi. Omu beat me complete. Mate, it's Miss McConnell, the media coffee so. Don't worry about it. Me could see a cacra, me back and be not for the me one man daughter say at me. Adwoa Odo papa be ye and ye beba life, Missy, I'll be there. I'll be there. Yes, it's nice. I mean, to say that's part of the stress relief. So because maybe I quite bet me I can't yadi free won't run into my dear send me and one and so walk up. All right, Doc. Rebecca said, Jimmy, that's CBM1. I mean, sure, one love to you always. And I know I sending me my warmest regards to the family. Mate, and rapa or popon and san rough, ne jollof, mommy jollof, woodia, Obeka crema. Any bra, now the stuffing. So, oh my gosh, me mama stuffing. I don't know how she does it. Who bet me a dinis artist and you would dear no. Like, what? I don't know where she learned it. But mommy, my didn't for stuffing before, but mommy stuffing is very rich. Into wood, yeah, it melts in your mouth. Food to say yes, cooking. Yeah, one time be me win stuffing after they said my winner, Sana me me take mama and who I'm say, hey, I said my ba. Maria Mnemi, na me that's with someone, and I'm say, what a wow. Yeah, like I said, why? That's it. Okay, that was Doc. Yeah, any about Obapa comfort miracle and him. Intido, I send a Doc kind, no. It may be free to cry. I mean, to say, let me just conclude it. Because some of the a to na me hwɛ me ho sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a mehu comment no ne ade. Yes. Nti mehu comment na ɛno mmom boa me. Dɔfo mo nso bi ba so na sɛ ɔmo antwerɛ a ɛno nso ma mehu. Nti Doc, Stammer kwa yɛda ase pa nyame nhyira wo ɛne wo incisive educational resourceful contribution. I just love it. And as I was saying before, when victims recognize that nothing is their fault, right? It's a huge break to help them deal with their ordeal and be receptive to starting a new chapter, the healing process. Sometimes some of the victims are not able to confront their abuser. And if they're not able to, and the abuser passed away, it becomes very hard on them. They have a hard time, moving on or even being in relationship. And then you have those who do not have any empathy. They don't care about the emotional trauma or struggles, psychological trauma that the person is going through, and they take advantage of their kindness, or like you tell them. Most of you heard what Dr. Marikwa said, they will tell you what you want to hear. So you kind of like, latch on to them or listen to them. And most of them, they just come to dupe you and stuff like that. Past experiences, give the ability to grow with more empathy towards, those who needs it. And yes, it will be an ademano. We need to learn to be compassionate. And also, people who go through a lot of trauma, they become proactive. Sometimes they have to, and they're always honest. They don't lie. When they go through things and they ready to talk about it, they speak the truth. Everything that happened, and they just need someone to listen. In order for them to be more understanding, be cautious of things that they do, how they do it, how they go about it, be productive, have productive thinking before leaping into anything, like most of them, they don't jump from one relationship to another. They have one person, they want to like stay with that person. If it does not work out, now they have a long break before, and sometimes they don't even bother to get into any relationship. Any type of trauma is unforgettable. You can never forget. Some of us are able to live with it, to use it to strengthen ourselves, but you cannot forget it. When some days becomes difficult, sometimes something may happen and then it will re-trigger. Like for me, I people that knows me, they know said they cannot approach me from behind. If you approach me from behind and you touch me, uh you're going to feel pain in your fingers, in your hand, because I will normally grab and twist it, because I want to make sure that nobody's taking advantage of me coming from behind. So like, you need to say my name, tap me from the side, or come from in front of me. Never approach me from behind, because that's something that uh could trigger a lot of things, and you can end up getting hurt. Mhm. Mo mmarima deɛ ɛsi anim sɛ yɛbutu mo hwe ase hɔnom na nneɛma bebree, you guys going to go through a lot. But sɛ bɛrima bi wɔ hɔnom a wonim sɛ wobɛbutu no wɔ nti no wa prepare for it. But there are other places no nso a wobɛtumi abɔ. Ɛsiane sɛ menyɛ obi a meyɛ violent nti menka na obi ankɔfa anka sɛ Adwoa Odo no kyerɛ me. That is my protection, defense mechanism, and part of my protection. Won't sa now, Baminka. But I mean, some days are going to be difficult, but it's okay to feel those feelings and don't get stuck there. As I mentioned earlier, you have to, because you have to be able to outline that and to make you stronger, right? And as a survivor, you need to be a survivor. You cannot allow yourself to be a victim. Crap. And some of the things that one can do to heal from emotional trauma, now, you can ask for support. Go counseling. You can do some volunteers in the community, be able to learn to interact with people, get to know people, have conversation, effective conversation, and also being helpful to self and others. Doing self-care. Self-care is very important. And also having your mean time. Like, I have my mean time. Kay has his mean time. The kids even have their mean time, because we need to make sure that when one has their own time, right? For you to just relax your mind, you can just sit and not do nothing. You can sit and listen to music. You can sit and read, do meditation, like, just relax your mind. Just feel free to do things that makes you happy. I mean, music is a good sensory. It's a good sensory for the mind, body, and soul. A lot of people don't realize that, but like for me, music really calms me down. It also helped me be able to move around. It's also important to always moving, right? Do some exercise, because like exercising, doing those movement, having distractions, it helps for you not to be like kind of having those intrusive thoughts in your head. All right. You be able to it will help you repair, exercise. A lot of times, exercise does a lot. Okay, movement and exercise, it helps you repair your nervous system and so many other things. So we just need to learn to do better. And so I'm going to leave you guys here today. But two of the most dangerous thing, like, when it comes to emotional and psychological trauma, is like the most dangerous things, because um it's it's invincible. We can see it. Just when things people cannot see, a lot of people think that, oh, it's nothing, but that's the worst thing that can happen. So I will leave you guys. You guys have a blessed, safe day. Because I talk so much. I'm just gonna play one more song, two more songs, one more song, and then I'll be out. Let me just pull the song. Which one? Quran and meet me abo. Sorry, guys. I want to thank every single person who liked the video, loved the video, use other emojis, those who share the program, uh, and then everyone who contributed to the program. I want to thank each and every one of you, the regulars. You guys are always here to support moi. I love you guys, on the same. One love to each and every one of you. You guys have a blessed, safe weekend. Enjoy your weekend. And, life is full of surprises and challenges and struggles. But, never give up in life. Just believe in yourself, do self care, build your self confidence, have some value, self respect. Basically, do self everything, because listen, you are one of the kind. We are all unique in our own way. So I love you guys. Take care. My baby sister, Crisscross Best. Get your book. Get your books. Amazon. Okay, Barnes and Noble. Wow. Oh! Hey, come rest you. Miniaba, Obaba Rami, Nanamo in the blue. Happy birthday. Why it says happy blessed birthday. Why I'm a birthday, then you sing now. Happy birthday to you guys. Yummy. Okay. I see you guys tomorrow, mañana. With Suffer Samuel Kosorai at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Intimidate. Nyami Eja Muninala. Bye-bye. One love, one love, one love. Hey, okay, I mean, no, I'm pressing the wrong one.